Freeze! Put your hands down, stop scrolling, and the volume up. This is the Good Cop, Bad Cop podcast.
I'd like to thank our sponsors today, Pops McCann Whiskey, smoothest drink in the land. Grab your bottle today at popsmccannwhiskey.com. Also like to thank Friends of Martina White. Visit votemartina.com for more information about the work Martina has been doing as state representative of Pennsylvania. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Beyond Creative. If you're ready to take your online presence to the next level, visit beyondocreative.com or call 267-362-WEB1 to discuss your project. And our title sponsor, AR Law, arjusticenow.com. We fight so you don't have to. Adams Renzi Law. We would also like to thank our sponsor, Morrow Flooring, hardwood, laminate, vinyl, tile, and carpet. You get military and first responders discount. That is Morrow Flooring. You can go to goodcopbadcoppodcast.com, click on his link for more details. All right, Good Cop, Bad Cop family. I'm your host, Nick Gervais. This is the Good Cop, Bad Cop podcast. So as you can see, it's going to be a new look this season. Season 2 is coming live at you. We're going to have the same great segments, new segments, same great and amazing guests. It's going to be a lot of fun. I will be your host this season. And today we are joined by Jason Fogg. He's one of our sponsors, owner of Pops McCann Whiskey. What is it? The smoothest
whiskey in the land.
Smoothest whiskey in the land. I can attest to that. It's very good. So he's the owner of Pops McCann Whiskey. He's an actor, entrepreneur, and a man of the people. We are also going to be joined by Joaquin, like Joaquin Phoenix, right?
Yes, sir.
He's a Navy vet. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you.
Husband, father, owner of 5 Barrel Solutions, which is a cigar brokering firm.
Correct.
Okay, and he has Los Hefei, right? Did I say that right?
Hefes.
Los Hefes Social Cigar Club. Check them out on Facebook, and on Instagram, it's 5 Barrel Solutions, underscore in between each name. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, great, guys. So this is going to be our new season. We're going to have a lot of fun. Like I said, a lot of same segments, new segments, great guests. We're going to hop right to it today. So, Jason, let's hop into your life. So, I mean, you're a very interesting fella. You know, who comes up with their own whiskey brand? Where does that come from?
Well, there's a lot of whiskey brands out there these days. You know, every Tom, Dick, Harry, Grandma, everybody's coming out with brands.
That's true.
So
you got the white labels. You can just procure some different liquor, slap your own label on it. But yours is a little bit different than that, right?
Well, there's a lot of things going on in the business. You know, it's a little oversaturated. Numbers are down overall. You know, but you just got to keep on moving, pivoting, be flexible, and just keep on coming out with new things, which we do have coming, and just keep on dancing. You know, you gotta can't.
Well, whiskey
fret.
helps you to dance, doesn't it?
Yeah, that gets you on tables and dances
right?
and stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
gets clothes off, and bar fights.
Yeah, just stay out of bars if you.
I know you've been in a few bar fights.
Yeah, plenty.
Coming from Kensington, if you know what Kensington is.
But you just stay out of bars now anymore. I'm too old for that. You know?
So let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
So young Jason's running around Kensington. That's where I used to be a cop at. So we're about the same age, even though I look a lot older than he is.
Mm-hmm. I'm Juniata Park.
Juniata Park.
Yeah, Kensington is all the family.
So Juniata Park, for those of you who don't know, it's in Philadelphia. It's a section of the city in the 24th Police District.
Yeah.
So that's Kensington suburbs. That's Kensington with trees, right? Wouldn't that be fair to say?
Yeah,
Juniata Park?
2 foot by 6 foot lawns is what Juniata Park was compared to Kensington.
Yeah.
A little bit more of a grid, a little bit more straight through, and some trees and a park, and a golf course.
So I used to catch the kids in the very late 1999, early 2000s. They were still having kegs and beer in the woods there on like the tree line. And I would tell them, listen, if you're going to be dumb enough to not go into the woods and hide, I'm going to take your beer, which I did.
Yeah. It's the 4th hole at Juniata Park.
Yeah, right by Juniata Park.
Right by the creek.
So what did you do? You know, young Jason, you're a teenager.
Yeah.
Has a whiskey brand always been something that you're eyeing? I know you acted a little bit. You know, let's foray into how you get into acting and your whiskey brand.
Yeah, I'm getting back into that full-fledged too. But for whiskey, for booze, we used to get beer delivered in Juniata Park. My mom bartended, late nights, Friday and Saturdays and Sundays, and then you had an open house, and before people started getting in trouble, with parents supplying stuff or houses getting in trouble and stuff like that. But it was we got it delivered from M&V, I think, in Kensington. M&V,
You're underage, right?
Remember M&V beer distributors?
Where's
I don't.
that?
It's not there anymore. So we get beer delivered and just make sure the house was clean. Sometimes the house was cleaner than we first got it. That was my first clue to my mother how something was happening.
That's how I got
because
caught.
it was cleaner. The house was cleaner than she left it.
That's how I got caught having my house parties in high school. My mom would not let it die. I knew you have a party, and I finally admitted to it because they're like, you're grounded until we talk about it. I said, all right, how did you know? She goes, well, I just bought rolls of paper towels. I'm missing 5 paper towels, and the house is cleaner than it was when I left for the casino. So
it's like a lemon scent smell. Resolve.
Yep.
Resolve carpet cleaner was like a teenager's best friend back in the day. You remember that red bottle? You get out any stains. You had one knucklehead out of your crew. Always.
Yeah.
It morphed into new once the knucklehead was expanded, disbanded out of the crew, but. The one kid, oh my God, I had resolve. I should have just called it his name because every time he'd come over, he'd do something dumb and spill something. My mom had a white couch too. It was all white. And it wasn't covered either, like the classic.
That's because you're Irish.
Plastic couches. No, they should have been. It should have been
Italian. That shit would have been all plastic.
We had some Irish. I had an Irish grandmother figure.
During the summertime, terrible.
Mrs. Fitzy used to babysit me since I was 3 years old because my parents were in the booze business. My dad owned a bar. My dad that raised me.
Mrs. Who?
Mrs. Fitzgerald.
How'd she look?
But her name was Mrs. Fitzy. She was an older lady. Loved to play
She looked good?
the slots. She was great. She was fat. But she did stand-up comedy down in Atlantic City. She was the best.
Did she ever touch you?
No.
Okay.
She let me curse, smoke her late husband's pipe. We're talking about tobacco in a little bit. We used to smoke cherry...
Skin
The
pipe?
cherry... No, cherry tobacco. And she just loved the smoke and the smell of the cherry and the smoke throughout the house because it reminded of her late husband. I was allowed to curse. Like I said, we'd smash light bulbs out on the front porch. Rubber band fights. We would listen to Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, Lawrence Welk show.
How old are you at this time?
I'm probably 4 years old till 17.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So she was babysitting.
I basically had a bedroom. No, it was like a base.
Wait a
base.
Hold on.
It's like a home base.
Babysitting you when you're 16 years old?
No, I had a home base around the corner.
Okay.
So you just had a home base around the corner. Mrs. Fitzy,
Was she your first?
breakfast,
Sounds like
lunch,
it, right?
dinner.
You had a little crush on her, didn't you?
Nah, she was amazing, man. She was
That's awesome.
very, very such a sweetheart of an older lady. Very spiritual activity, and just a great person.
So another way I got caught, I always had keg parties at my house.
Yeah.
Parents went to casino a lot. Older siblings who didn't watch me like they're supposed to. But I was in high school, so
Yeah.
And I made sure everyone. Another way I got caught, too many cigarettes were in the ashtrays. So I made everyone smoke outside. I had a can out there. So my rat neighbor, who I never thought would say shit, told my parents everyone's outside smoking pot. So now I had to cop to the damn party and then be like, no one was smoking pot. Nobody was smoking. It was just cigarettes. So I got caught that way.
So the point for Mrs. Fitzy was she had the place of couches and she was Irish. So,
okay. Well,
so
listen, a lot
that
of
3
Irish wanna
minutes
be
of
Italian.
segue, we just proved one little thing that Irish people had plastic couches too.
So
I have a set. I have a set of a love seat and a long seat of plastic couches. I love them.
That's because you want to be Italian. It's fine. All
I
you Irish
love
do.
Italians too. I love Italians. I love everybody.
All right,
I love
so-
all people.
All right, so obviously you grew up in a culture like most Irish of bars, beer, whiskey. Was this on your radar at all?
So I learned the business from an early age. I grew up with a lot of older people in life, through all my experiences of the bar business. And you hung with anybody from obviously 21 to 91, basically in the bar. We had a lot of older people in the bar business. My dad had an early on in the 80s partner, Frank. He was an older guy. And, you had some, just a lot of different characters and a lot of different people in the bar business. My bedroom was actually in the basement. For quite some time, so that like after school programming or summer programming, I'd be in the basement with Nintendo on a futon, chicken wings, Coca-Cola, all the drunk aunts and uncles you can possibly have upstairs.
Yeah.
Peeling dollar bills, playing darts, shuffleboard. There was a Pop-A-Shot early on, claw machine. There was all kinds of like the trivia games and stuff like that. So there was a lot of wagering going on. The bar's gone now, so we sold it. So
Where
you know,
was
you
it
can tell
at?
some stories. It was Pat's Pub at M and Erie
Oh, yeah.
Avenue.
Okay, Pat's.
So it's right down the street from Wawa. Where
Yeah, I
you
spent
know,
many times in Pat's.
yeah.
Got a
There's a
couple.
lot of
Walked out there with a nice shiner or a bar
end of the
brawl.
second shifter. People used to come in all the time, and I'd make them. You know, a couple. They tell me how many 6-packs on the phone at like 1:30 a.m. They're getting off. They're going to the park. The cops are getting off the second shift. I'd grab a box, an old Budweiser box, a plastic bag, throw the 6-packs in and ice in and tie it up, and there was the Kensington
That's funny, man.
cooler.
We definitely seen each other back then. I was in Pat's. It wasn't my regular J Street and Reagan's.
Yeah, Reagan's.
Reagan's, yeah,
I was
they
just
were
talking
my
about
two.
that recently.
Yeah, they were my two real cop spots
Yeah.
in the 24th.
Yeah, all 3 spots.
But
were
we
all
would do
frequented.
M and Erie a lot. A lot of the Kensington, Indiana guys that grew up there would always linger over to the Pat's Pub,
Yeah.
which was a good time. All right, so how do you knock down Pops McCann Whiskey?
So I just grew up in the beer business. I was bar backing, you know, cooking, then in the bartending, then going down the shore with my dad, working down there at his bar down in Wildwood. That was there for a little bit of time, and just learning the ropes. And
His
then
bar or just bartending there?
his bar down the shore too. Yeah,
Which
for
one?
like 17, off and on 17 years. He had it for.
What bar?
It was the Surf Tavern, and when he got it into it changed into the Boardwalk Bar and Grill for many years.
Where at?
Oak and Atlantic.
In
Not
Wildwood.
too far from the Bolero. The Bolero is still there.
Okay.
We still are. My dad's really good friends with the Bolero family.
In
Bolero
Wildwood,
Bar and
right?
Grill is great. Yeah, it's amazing.
Is that by the Fairview?
Not too far.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Fairview's on Pacific, and then the Bolero's on Atlantic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So work down there a lot. You know, you're working with, you know, a pretty extensive, long, big bar, and you know, we did good for a bunch of years. And I was down there in the summertime. I opened it up as I graduated college. I majored in alcohol in college, and just learned the ropes in the bar business. So it was kind of easy fallback. And then I think 10 months into the next year, I was a beer salesman.
Nice. I majored in alcohol in high school.
There you go.
Yeah, a lot of it.
That was my minor in high school, and
Yeah.
then became my major.
I learned how to pack a mean cooler very quickly.
Yeah.
All right. So, what's the inspiration behind Pops? Where does this?
So, you know, with all that alcohol background, I was doing a lot of ancestry digging up. I'm a big ancestry person. I'm a big spiritual person, and I decided to, you know, come up with a brand named Pops, and then it was supposed to be Pops Whiskey, and then I kind of need a little bit more firepower with the name, and I came up with Pops McCann, and that's my great grandfather on the bottle there that started this brand.
It's a
after.
great logo.
Thank you. Logos are going to change from different things I have coming. I have some different things coming, and but Pops McCann was born in Scranton. He was a coal miner, born in 1893, and you know, I think it was a good base for him and his wife Anna Hughes McCann to start a brand. He drank a lot of booze. Anna's family had a store in Kensington at Boston and Jasper Streets that sold beer. And it was kind of like a convenience store in the late 1800s. So it was kind of like a basis where I just kind of start a little bit into the time period there for them to be the anchors of the brand, and then have some, you know, some different things, some segue brands coming off of this.
Right.
And, you know, and Pops McCann was just an all-American hero type of guy that we all look up to, served in the military. He was in World War I.
Yeah.
And I got a funny story. He was a coal miner out of Scranton, and he moved to Philadelphia, unfortunately, after his mother passes away. And what I can gather from all the ancestry stuff that I dug up that I love so much to do, and I'm just a history person. I love history, and I love knowing about the history. So I think it helps us move forward in life in the future here. And now, especially what has been, you know, coming through in the past couple of years. But you know, he moved to Philadelphia after his mother passed away, and he did all the burial service from what I can gather. And
How old was he at this time?
He's 23, 24 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he moves to,
This is like 1911, 1912, right around there.
at the end of 1917.
After the war?
Now it just started.
Okay.
I mean, the American side just is about to get into the war.
Right. Okay.
They just started to have the draft, and his mother died December 13th, 1917. So I believe it's like right at the end. I would actually say Christmas time, knowing him, you know, and knowing me and knowing our bloodline, I would say it's right at the end of 17, changing changing the guard, changing a chapter in life. Some devastating things happen in life, and you got to look at it like, I think he was changing his chapter, and he moved to Philadelphia, said goodbye to his mother, Scranton, and the coal mines for good, moved to Philadelphia. And I find this out because he filled it out on his draft card. It said first ever known residence, and he puts 9th and Spring Garden. I don't know why he did that. Something funny probably I would do too. 9th and Spring Garden, I looked at that intersection for quite some time, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. There's trees going through the train tracks and the station there. One day I walked around the Percy Street and I looked at the building and said Reading Railroad, and that's what it said on his draft card, RRYMCA. So there was a YMCA in that building. Probably was a boarding house of some kind.
Could have been. Yeah.
Probably renting a room, maybe working out, maybe getting showers.
That building now is the Polish house, I believe. I know
There's a brewery on the corner.
No, not the brewery. It's like a Polish. The brewery's on 6th and Spring Garden. And I think the next street over is Edgar Allan Poe's house.
I think that's on the other side of the bridge, down a little bit.
That's like it's like
this is 9th.
Spring Garden.
This is between 9th and 10th on Percy Street. Percy runs the same as 9th and 10th.
Okay.
So it's right.
Oh
in
yeah,
between.
I know what brewery you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a some kind of brewery on the corner there, and then there's a whole.
Yeah, there's an overpass.
Not sure what it was, but obviously you can see where my thoughts went at one time for that place. But he very quickly meets a lady, Anna Hughes McCann, in an old Irish dance in Kensington. And back then, ethnicities had their own dances. It was Irish dances, it was Polish dances, it was Spanish dances. It was
frowned upon going outside.
African American. Everybody had their own things and neighborhoods and places and churches and everything, and kind of tried to keep their their kin together, whatever. But that's where he met her, and then he went away. By February he's within 2 camps. So his mother dies in December. He's in a camp for Fort Upton and Camp Meade in February. So it's a very short time period where he's shipped off, and boom, and then he gets pictures of marriage with Anna, and they're married. He goes away to France for a year and a half, and he's with the Army Corps of Engineers. And I just figured this out, too. He was a coal miner. That's why they put him with the Army Corps of Engineers, because he was digging tunnels and digging dirt. And coal miners digging and all that
Yeah, they
kind of
did
stuff.
a lot of digging for bomb placement under the trenches.
Yeah. So probably being a coal miner, and so to speak, he didn't see a lot of action, I think, like war, like bullets flying action. I don't know. But it might have saved them.
Well, have you heard the stories of these guys during World War One?
A few, yes.
I mean, it was pretty insane. These guys would be tunneling, and they'd have to stop periodically to listen, because not only are they being listened to by the Germans digging tunnels, but they're listening for the Germans digging tunnels themselves. And there's instances where they broke through into each other's tunnels, and there's hand-to-hand fighting inside the tunnels between the Germans and Americans. And it sounds like grandfather's probably involved in that. If he was a coal miner.
Man, yeah, coal mine. I know in Vietnam they had the tunnel rats.
Yeah, tunnel rats.
Yeah.
Same heritage and ilk, which it takes a lot of balls. So he probably did, he's seen his fair share of shit.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be a
I'd
coal
like to
miner.
dive into his records a little bit with you at one point so we can find out some stories. That'd be pretty interesting.
Find his unit.
I think about all these jobs that our servicemen have done in the military, and World War I, and just looking at my great grandfather there, like, I don't know how I would be a coal miner today.
Right.
I don't know how I'd be in World War I today. It's just a whole nother lifestyle.
The only thing, I think you agree with me with this, is you hear a lot of people say, and I do agree with this to an extent, but they're like, God, they don't make them like they used to, or, this generation's soft. We've just been in a war for 20 years, and all the young men that stepped up were just as strong and courageous as the guys from World War I, World War II, Vietnam. So not everyone is weak or is not the same ilk of.
When those times hit you, you pull together and you come together. You look at 9/11, we're getting ready to come up on that. And folks did too.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think to comment on that, like the history books talk about the BAs, the bad guys that are just tough as nails. And honestly, when you said the last 20 years, you're right. Like Michael Strange, and on all SEAL Team 6 and all those heroes, and Tillman. I mean, they rise to the occasion, these type of heroes. And I think
every generation
in the history
has
books,
every
they have. You're right. I think
we have one right here.
Maybe we're so speaking talking about the whole generation as a whole of every single member and how soft it's come.
Correct. Absolutely right.
When the history speaks for itself in the next 50, 75, 100 years, when these next generations are looking back and they see the Tillmans and the Stranges and all the guys and all the wars that we know of, and the Joaquins, those guys are the ones that rose to the occasion. They were tough as nails too, and I just think they're talking about that core group, and we're talking about the core group that was in the war too.
Yeah. These guys set the standards for us.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pops McCann, that's your inspiration. So when do you start? When you're like, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm hopping in. I'm starting a whiskey brand.
Yeah, so I was a beer salesman, so I learned a lot about the beer business. 2004 to 2009, I was working in Philly as a beer rep. I kind of say that I taught the craft beer revolution. You had a lot of obviously Philly bars had. I'll keep it short. Just say one bar had, or mostly all the bars had two taps of Budweiser at either end of the bar, 2 taps of Yinling, 2 taps of Coors, 2 taps of Miller, two taps of Miller Lite. And I started talking about the new things like the Guinness Schmittix and Harps, the Blue Moons, the Stellas, the Pilsner Kells. The Grey Lodge was pretty
pioneer
they were a pioneer in it, yeah. And but mostly they were one of none. There was just nobody else doing it, and I was teaching the new craft beer stuff, and the way that methodology came out, and the way we were learning it, and the way I was going to be starting to craft my own things later, and then I always had this dream of becoming an actor. I just hit it a lot longer. I wish I didn't. Being from Philly, you just don't really tell those type of things out. You just gotta do what you got to do and work hard every day and just fall in line. And but I eventually did do it. I did a baby step to Florida, and I quit my beer job in Philadelphia, and I became a beer salesman in Florida, which I was trying not to do. But I learned supermarkets, and then that was key. And then I came back, and then I went to California to be an actor, and then I came back from California for a little bit and got a lot of work and stuff in New York. But I always had the branding stuff mind, the creative mind, the commercial mind. I'm working on scripts for movies and stuff or short films, and but I always had that creative brand mind to come out with a brand. So it's kind of like, and then I come back from California and New York, but I still got to have a day job. I started selling tequila, and then I started working for Charles Jacquin's at the end of the summer. So Jacquin's is America's oldest cordial producer in Kensington.
Trenton and Lehigh. Always good to the police.
Yeah, so I was their assistant national sales manager, then became their national sales manager, and I just tried to learn every single thing I could. All 50 states, the control states, the open states. And, while I was in California, though, trying to be an actor as well there, it was a little tougher there. It was harder to break in, but I learned this. I took this 3-day course about trying to get a job about water, and I learned a lot about water. So there's all these little things in life. Water. All these little things in life, if you look back on what now I'm dealing with natural spring water, mixing it with whiskey, looking to do some more things with water.
All right, so what year did you start the brand?
I started the brand in 2017, and then I had a live bottle March 10th, 2018.
Are you happy you did it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, it's good whiskey. I love the branding, the message behind it. I mean, you can check out the bottles. We'll take a look right here. Right, that's
the new one coming out. That's the feather in the cap. That's going to be a 7-year Kentucky bourbon. That's what the bottle's going to look like there.
It's beautiful.
It's the mock-up. We also have the Michael Strange bottle on the table here. We have the Wild Bill one that we both sold out of both of these. The Wild Bill one's coming back, and it's going to be with a tan label. And we still have some.
So the Wild Bill would be from the hit series Band of Brothers, Bill Garnier from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Part of the 101st of the 506th, right? War hero.
Oh, yeah.
Popular man in Philadelphia, which is a great bottle. And then Michael Strange was attached to SEAL Team 6, tragically killed in Extortion 17. You can go back to season 1 of Good Cop, Bad Cop and see Michael's father, Charlie, which is carrying on his legacy. So that's what this edition here salutes, would be Michael Strange.
Yeah, and I'm super proud of all the brands and all the bottles. I've come out with 11 whiskey bottles. And but those ones were 2 that I had to develop that wasn't about my family.
Right.
That was I did a Bootlegger's Daughter series that was about John McCann's wife, Anna Hughes McCann, and all the ladies in my family and all the ladies around the world to pay homage to, and you raise a toast to the ladies. But these 2, I had to write the back of Michael Strange's, and I had to write the back label of Wild Bill's, and it's like, it's a really, really tough task to do because I'm writing about these heroes that that are just so untouchable at the peak of heroism.
Can't put everything in.
Yeah.
You can't put everything in
a small box like a Twitter.
It's a small box. My label lady, Kathleen Cooney, little flower girl from Juniata as well, Juniata Park, and Clara Street. She lived on the same street as Mrs. Fitzy, so there's a tie in there. But she's like, I can't fit all this stuff in here, so I had to condense. I think I had to rewrite the Wild Bill one probably 101 times. And Michael's, was, very spiritual. Michael went to my high school, North Catholic. He was 6 years behind me in Northeast Catholic High School. And I just wanted to do both bottles because I know the families that run these amazing foundations. And the give back that they give, I wanted to give back with them.
That goes, a portion of sales from the Michael Strange edition goes to the Michael Strange Foundation, correct?
Yes.
So people, just to give a quick backstory of Michael Strange, he was attached to the Navy SEALs, and they were doing, this is SEAL Team 6 who killed bin Laden. And there's a lot of conspiracy theories which seem to be true. I mean, they're no longer, when does something stop being a conspiracy theory and just start being factual? Yeah. That idiot Biden leaked that SEAL Team 6 was the team that killed bin Laden. So the Taliban put a price on top of SEAL Team 6's head. For whatever reason, I think there was 20 plus SEALs on one helicopter going on a rescue mission, which is something that you don't do, especially with, I think, Tier 1 operators such as the SEALs. And it was shot down, and there's a lot of theories behind it that it was... the information was purposely leaked. I mean, you can check out Charlie Strange, Michael's father. Well, you're having a documentary coming out. I said before in season 1 of Good Cop, Bad Cop. You can check out the Charlie Strange episodes, which are 2. I highly recommend. A lot of information in that. And definitely check out the documentary on Extortion 17 coming out in October. And we should have Charlie back as a guest. But, it's amazing. And one thing I do want to thank you. The Good Cop, Bad Cop podcast was something I had in my head for a few years. And I ran it by Jason, and I kind of needed some money to put together a trial run, and he didn't hesitate. He says, "You know what? I'm going to be a sponsor." He paid for our trailer, and forever being indebted for that. To be honest with you, so I want to say thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
You believed in me, and I believe in you. The whiskey tastes great. I'm not really that much of a whiskey guy, but it's smooth. It's very easy to drink. It does taste awesome. We're going to have some in a little bit, me and Brian. So where do you see this going now?
So I have the last installment that we have planned right now for the Wild Bill label. It's going to be a tan label. We're working on that, taking seems like forever for these new labels to come. But the Feather in the Cap, the Wild Bill, the Feather in the Cap is going to be a 7-year Kentucky bourbon. I have an 8-year Train Whistle wheated bourbon coming, and then with the 12-year, it's going to be a 12-year Wild Bill bourbon. Nice. And it's going to have a little bit of a different color change in the tan, and sell those bottles out. There's going to be very limited amount of the Wild Bill. It's only 1 barrel, so I'm hoping to get maybe at 12 years and 101 proof, maybe 175 bottles.
Okay.
And
have you ever talked to the family of Bill Garnier at all? Have you seen
Yeah, I'm friends with Debbie Lynch Rafferty that runs the foundation. Okay. Actually, that's how me and Brian actually met in the beginning. Nice. We were actually going to do a cigar for the Wild Bill bottle, the first 2 barrels release, and we never got around to it. But I think we're going to try to do that now with the next installment of the Michael Strange. Is I trademarked Gold Yankee 4, Michael's call sign.
Right.
So it's going to be a GY4 bourbon for Michael to continue the brand. And this was just the introduction for Michael. We have plans for the Gold Yankee 4 brand to, fly into its own avenue and give some revenue to the Michael Strange Foundation so they can continue their efforts in helping Gold Star families.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Michael Strange's father. Charlie's a great guy. Passionate. Obviously, he lost his son, which is tragic. He's a Gold Star family. I highly recommend anyone watching this go check out the Michael Strange Foundation. Look up Charlie. He's a character. Everyone who knows him loves him. He's a great guy, and it's an awesome thing you're doing.
Yeah, Charlie's amazing. He's Uncle Charlie to me now, and it's just a great thing. When we first got done that whiskey, though, just to touch on it too, me and my son, I got back from the middle of PA, and we drove to Arlington to give Michael the first taste.
Nice.
So no, the whiskey wasn't even tasted yet. We delivered it to Michael first, and all his members, and at the Stone of Extortion 17, and gave it to them as well. And it was a spiritual endeavor and project, and it came out great. And then we look to carry it on, in addition with cigars and some other products. I have some other products coming. I have a vodka. We have a Lucky Runner's rum coming soon, and I'm working on a tequila.
And you have some cigar lounges too, correct?
And I'm working on a natural spring water brand, and we have some cigar lounges as well. Yeah, we have Sticks Cigar Lounge by Pops McCann Whiskey in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. We're working on finalizing licensing for Legend Cigar Lounge up in Easton with the Larry Holmes family.
The boxer.
Okay,
cool.
And we also have Red Rum Theater downtown in Philadelphia at 7th and Walnut for any murder mystery TV shows, events. We have all kinds of...
The Curtis Center, right?
The Curtis Publishing Building, Curtis Center. Yeah, it's 7th and Walnut right next to Washington Square. Amazing space.
Touch on that for a minute, the murder mystery dinners. What's that about? How do people check that out?
Wild, lot of fun. I mean, you should see the smiles on these people's faces. We have a bar in there, and we do pop-up events right now until we're getting fully licensed and to get the satellite fully licensed there, so we can serve everything, beer and wine included. Right now, we just have cocktails, and we're just setting up all these kind of wild, crazy, fun events. This fall, we have Hocus Pocus coming.
Nice.
Yeah, this weekend we had it's a fringe show festival. Then They Were Dead was pretty cool. You got to figure out who died, who's
very
killing
interactive,
everybody,
right?
who dies. This one was very interactive because you get to vote throughout the whole show.
Okay.
You get to have cocktails and vote and have fun with your friends and get a whole. It's just a cabaret, tables, and just about 50 to 60 to 70, 80 people around the room, just having a couple cocktails and watching great actors that are without Q Productions.
Is there food?
No food.
No food.
I have I have snacks at the bar. There is food in and around. There's a lot of great restaurants in this old city, Washington Square, Jewelers Road district.
It's a great area. So where can people check that out?
Redrum .live is where you can check it out and get tickets. Red Rum Theater on Facebook, any social media. Pops McCann is going to be driving some advertising and marketing too. So popsmccannwhiskey.com or Pops McCann Whiskey on Facebook or Instagram.
Great. So you also have 2 trailers that you can drop off for tailgates and parties?
Yeah, pretty wild trailers.
They're awesome.
I have. I just had them both rented out on Saturday, so it gets a little tricky, and I'm driving them through the night like the circus and dropping them off in people's backyards. I had the tightest spot that I had to go through in Morrell Park Friday night.
That's my hood, man. That's where I live.
Yeah.
So how many people you fit in the trailer? So the trailer, it almost looks like a big horse trailer, right? And the sides come up, and it turns into a bar.
They're actually old Coca-Cola Waymatic trailers built in Kentucky that all open up like all the old Carnival trailers.
Right.
And I have the bars pop out, and I have the coolers, the big coolers inside. I have a potbelly stove in the one.
How many seats?
And I put seats all around. I never guessed 7, 14, 17-ish, 18.
Great. So it's a great addition to any house party, backyard party,
it's nice.
Fundraiser. So where can you go to rent them?
Pops McCann Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Pops McCann Facebook page.
It's pretty intricate.
No, it's awesome, man. I love it.
Yeah, it's I have them on Marketplace, and they keep me busy as it is. They were up at Music Fest for 11 straight days in Bethlehem, and I'm busy enough. But I do have some open dates, and I want to get into some Eagles games down the stadiums.
Right.
If people want to do a remote, a podcast, a cigar event, those Hefeis.
We'll put a picture up post production.
Yeah,
What the
I can send you
trailers
some
look
pictures.
like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, people need to see them. They're really cool. It's definitely a great addition to any kind of party. You can step up the flair a little bit. You know what I mean?
They're ragers when
everyone loves sitting around a bar, especially an outside bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time.
We could put TVs in them. We could make it look like an ESPN zone. And
there you go.
Yeah.
You get stripper pole?
In the middle. Yeah.
There you go.
Right inside. I got 2 of them too, so you could put the DJ in one or the dancers in the other. Whatever you want to do, we could do it.
Mobile couch dances.
I have the bandwidth and the creativity to make it happen on anything.
They do that in Tampa Bay. It was like 20 years. I went to a Flyers game, and there's a limo outside of the Tampa Stadium where the Lightning play, and they're doing couch dances in there. Right there, right on the street. It was $20 or $10. You go in there and you get a couch dance inside the limo. It's hysterical, man. I'm like, this is genius. This is great.
I have other things and vehicles in the works. I can tell you that right now. That's all I can say right now.
Oh, boy.
I have other things in the works.
Oh, boy.
All right, let's switch gears. We're going to hop over. It's your turn, Brian. We're going to grill you, put the spotlight on you.
Thank you.
So you're Navy vet. I want to say thank you.
Thank you. Navy vet, 18 years. I was a hospital corpsman.
Okay, not as Obama once said, corpsman.
No.
You're a corpsman.
Corpsman.
All right. So let's start. So where'd you grow up?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, damn. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I know. Well, you talking all that Philly stuff there.
Damn.
Family's still there.
Brooklyn?
In Brooklyn. I grew up in Bed-Stuy.
Okay.
Kind of rough area. I knew terrorism before the word became popular.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. It was funny. 2019 into 2020, New Year's Eve, I went to New York for New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
But I went to Brooklyn. First time I was ever there, I went to the Post Malone concert at the Barclays Center.
At the Barclays. Yeah.
Yep. So I rung the New Year 2020 with Posty.
Nice.
And it's one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
It's a nice facility.
I fell in love with Brooklyn. What a cool town.
It's a different Brooklyn now.
I know. It's tough. I heard it's a lot different.
It's a lot different.
Have you been in Fishtown in Philly?
Yes.
It reminds me of Fishtown.
Yes. I was there this weekend, matter of fact.
The funny thing, one of the bartenders at one of the bars in Brooklyn was one of my neighbors in Philly. He's like, I didn't know him, but we got to talk, and he goes, because I think we had Philly gear on. He goes, what are you guys doing up here? We told him. He goes, well, I live in Philly. Where at? And we both lived on the same street, in Distance Street in Mayfair. He lived at one end of the block. I lived at the other. So it was free drinks. It was a good time.
There you go. That's the best time.
You ever been to the North Pole Bar in Brooklyn?
No.
Shout out North Pole Bar.
No.
I think they're known for their pickleback shots. It's a dive bar. It's pretty cool. If you get up there, you need to check it out.
I will. I'm there every week. Family's still there.
Check out the North Pole.
Yeah.
All right, so you grew up in Brooklyn?
Grew up in Brooklyn. Then we moved out of Bed-Stuy to Crown Heights. So it's Hasidic Jews mixed in there. And then decided that I wanted to go into the military.
How old were you?
I made that decision at 16, but I couldn't get in until I was 18. So I signed up at 17.
So what was it that made you?
I was always gung-ho. I had family members that served in World War II. My stepdad was in the Navy in Vietnam.
Wow.
Electrician.
So the World War II, were they in the Navy also?
No, they were Army.
Okay.
They were Army. And then I had one uncle, my grandmother's brother, he was on submarines.
Damn.
Yeah. And the story goes that he was on a submarine and they were in the heat of battle and he was on the mess decks eating. And they said, we're at war here. Why are you eating? He said, I want to die with a full stomach.
So, I guess he didn't die, right?
No, he came home. Thank God.
And what war was that?
That was 2.
Oh, wow. Man, they were primitive subs.
They were primitives.
Diesel.
Yeah. They
fumes.
were. Yeah. He tells some stories. Yeah.
Yeah, they were tiny. It took a lot of guts to be in those subs. I mean, not that these newer subs are any better, but still, it's a lot more room, a little more accommodating than the original ones.
It is, and the subs are known to have the best food in the Navy. They feed them well.
That's what I heard. I heard they eat really good. So it was the Navy, not the Army?
Not the Army. I always wanted the medical field, and I was told that the Navy had the best.
Okay.
So I went to boot camp, and then I went to corps school for about,
so where's boot camp at?
Boot camp was Great Mistakes. They called it Great Mistakes. Great Lakes, Illinois.
Okay.
It was in the cold of February, so we had snow up to
it's pretty warm up in
yeah,
right?
No
the Great
problem.
Lakes effect?
Yeah, no problem. And did all that.
How was boot camp for you?
In the beginning, it was a little tough, because you're making that transition from civilian to military. But once your mind gets set and you see everybody else has got to do it, I can say one thing about the military. They really do teach teamwork.
Right.
I've been in corporate America, and, in the business now, and they talk about it, but they can't practice it the way we did. So once you get into that concept of things and you get an understanding, it became pretty easy,
So let me ask you, what'd you show up with your hair looking like?
Oh, I had back then that, I'm bald now, but yeah, welcome.
We have the same armor.
Here we go. I came in with that little, kid and play.
Yeah. What year was it?
So I went in 85. I'm an old guy, man.
How old are you, man?
How old do you think I am?
Well, now that you said 85, so I'm going to say you're probably 57.
I'll be 60 in October.
Holy, seriously? Wow.
He looks good for 60.
Can we get the camera on this, man? Look at him. He does not look anywhere near 60. If
Yeah.
you would have told me 48, I believe it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
wow.
be 60 in October.
Okay, so 1985, I'm 6. He's in the Navy.
I'm in the Navy,
Okay.
and after I finished corps school, my first assignment was a frigate out of Jacksonville, Florida, called the USS
So we
Talbot.
can't use those kind of words here.
Okay.
We'll get canceled.
Okay.
Frigate? That's a boat?
It's,
Oh, okay. I thought he was cursing at me.
no. It was FFG4. It was known as frigate class. It was
Hold on, so you're going too fast. So you outside, after you leave boot camp, you become a corpsman.
yeah.
So you have to go to medical
I had to go
training.
to school. For
How
that.
long is the medical school?
That lasted about 6 months.
Yeah, so you're jumping way too fast and not giving yourself enough credit.
Oh, okay.
So medical school is difficult, correct?
Very difficult.
How'd you do?
I was tops in, we had 2 phases. We had clinical, which is hands-on, and then we had the book smarts. In clinicals, I was number 1 in my class.
Show off.
Yeah,
What
I know. I love suturing. I love trauma. I love that blood and gut stuff.
Nice.
So I was number 1. And training is constant throughout your career. So it doesn't stop there. You know, as you move on through your naval career, you're constantly training and getting updated on new procedures. Finished that.
So what'd you think of it? Was it a challenge?
It was very much a challenge.
Was it everything you thought it was going to be?
Yes, and more. I got to admit, I suffered in math a lot. So when it came to doing stuff like dosage calculation and putting the right dosage in.
That's why I'd be afraid I'd
Yeah.
kill somebody with the wrong dose.
So I had a lot of remedial training, but I got through it.
Nice.
I got through it. I had good instructors. I had a good team. We started with 75 in my class, and we graduated with like 32.
Damn. So 50% attrition rate.
Yeah.
All
These
right.
guys have to find other positions in the Navy.
So being a Navy corpsman, if you're attached, you have a Marine attachment on the ship, and we'll say they're landing on an island, you'd go with them, correct?
Well, there's 2 phases. So you can go in and become a naval corpsman and just do hospitals and ships.
Okay.
I did all 3. I volunteered to call FMF, Fleet Marine Force.
Okay.
So
You're in the ship.
yeah, I was on the ship, and then about 2 years on the ship, and then I had my chief corpsman, he's a little higher than me, of course.
Right.
He said, "Hey, would you like to go FMF?" And I didn't know. I said, "Sure." I raised my hand. He says, "Well, pack your bags. You're leaving in 72 hours for Camp Lejeune, North Carolina." And that's where the Marines were.
Right. Yep. Paris Islands, is that?
That's their boot camp.
Okay.
That's where they go to boot camp. So got down to Camp Lejeune and had another 8 to 10 weeks of boot camp.
Seriously?
Marine style.
So you had to go through another boot camp. Did you know that?
No. I heard rumors.
Would you have done it if you knew that?
No.
That's
Because it took.
why you're supposed to never volunteer when you're military.
Well, that's what Navy stands for. Never volunteer yourself again. Never again volunteer yourself. Yeah. So, but it was the best thing I did.
Yeah.
I love being with the Marines. They take care of you. Of course, I got to learn how to survive and fight just like them.
How did they look at you first coming in as a Navy?
They loved us.
Yeah.
They teased us.
Yeah.
I had on the bell bottoms and everything, and they make you change into all the fatigues and get geared up.
So I tell you a quick story. It's funny. My buddy's dad was in the Navy, and I guess the first rank is what?
To be seaman.
Seaman.
Seaman
Yeah.
recruit.
Yeah. So you know what his last name was?
What?
Staines.
Stains?
Yes.
Yeah.
Seaman Staines.
Seaman Stains.
True story. I never laughed so hard in my life.
Oh man.
Well, in boot camp, they couldn't pronounce my last name, Joaquin, so they called me Jockstrap. So that was the only.
So that was your nickname?
Jockstrap. Until I got with the Marines, you were Doc. Yeah, you become Doc.
Doc.
Yeah,
Okay.
you become Doc.
All right. So you graduate that. Then what's next for you?
So then I stayed with the Marines.
Okay.
I served with them. Went back and I went over to Iraq.
How long? So that's the first Gulf War, correct?
Yeah,
You're talking
that's the
about?
first one.
So when were you in the Navy? What were the years?
I was in the Navy. I did full time from 1985 to about 1990,
Okay.
and then from 1990 to 2003 was reserves.
Okay.
So I did that loop. I would have done the
18
20
years?
18
Yeah,
years.
you're 2 years shy. You're 20. Huh?
They had orders to Afghanistan. I said I couldn't do it anymore,
I don't blame you.
and I had 2 little girls, so I
Yeah.
said, I can't do it anymore.
I don't blame you at all. You did your time.
Yeah, I regret it. I could have got the full retirement, but as they say, God has plans. So
I think you still go back for 2 years, can't you?
squeeze in. Tell
Yeah.
them I'm 40.
Yeah, going to Coast Guard would take you.
Yeah,
Get
they'll
them
take.
too
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
So what was the first Gulf War like?
For me, it was frustrating because we had done so much training and so much preparedness, and we just sat on the ship while the other units went in.
For the entire time?
We went and did some rescues,
Okay.
and got folks out, but it wasn't like we were in the heat of it. We were kind of, amphibiously just on the ship waiting to really deploy. They took our snipers,
Right.
they took our machine gunners, but most of us, we were helping with the casualties as they came in.
Anything stand out to you, like on what the rescue missions or a patient maybe you?
Yeah, there was some things that you don't want to bring up, and then but there was a lot of. I was busy. I was treating a lot of the Marines that were coming in that had been injured. Like I told you, I like trauma, so
Right.
me putting my hands in wounds and suturing and doing my best to assist, with keeping them alive, was something that it sounds weird, but I enjoyed.
No, well, you're saving lives.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I did whatever I could to keep that Marine alive.
Well, how are you today with that? Does any of that haunt you?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. I suffer with stuff. It does haunt me. There's a lot of things that I dwell on. And now I have a brother. He's younger than me. He has MS, so I'm taking care of him
How
in
old
New
is he?
York. He's 51.
Okay, and how's his prognosis? Is
It's not good.
no,
No.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he's got advanced stage, so he's in a facility in New York, and I'm up like twice a week taking care of him.
How long has that been going on?
Well, the funny thing is he hid it from us. So I would say,
Wow.
so I've been taking care of him about 3 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
And, have you ever talked to anybody about the?
Oh yeah, I'm in the VA.
Okay.
Going through the procedures that they give me. Starting to suffer with other things. Hearing and stuff like that. But oh yeah, I make sure my wife is very very
Good.
strong push behind me.
It's
So
one of the things that with this show we concentrate on mental health.
yes,
I know it's not easy, especially within first responders and military.
right, yeah, and I tell everyone, talk to someone.
Yeah.
I have some folks that work with me that have experienced the same thing, and we try to talk to one another.
They say the suicide rate for vets are 22 a day, but it's really over 40.
Yeah.
It's not being reported correctly.
Correct. Correct.
And on our show, we had Matt Whizbang Buckley, fighter jet pilot. He's trying to legalize psilocybin and ibogaine treatments to help first responders, military vets in the United States. Right now, you have to go outside the country
Yeah.
to get that help. And apparently, ibogaine's like a 93% success rate. It rewires your brain anatomy and it really heals trauma and
Yes.
addictions.
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah, and we had another gentleman on that has a Camp Freedom in Pennsylvania.
That sounds familiar. Would they take you out on
He
it?
take you on hunts and stuff for a whole week. Yeah.
Yes.
I believe his name's Paul. Forgive me. People can check it out in our first season.
Mhm.
But yeah, you too. You should check out the episodes. I'll send them
I
to
will.
you.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard of Camp Freedom.
Very
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, it's a really good thing he's doing up there.
love it. That's great.
All right, so that ends. What happens?
So that ends.
So you're activated, right? Because you're in the reserves.
Was in the reserve, so activated. Did my little stint over
What
there.
were you thinking? Like, oh shit.
No, I knew what I signed up for.
Yeah. Were you married at the time?
No, I wasn't married.
Okay.
And well, yes, I was. I had my first marriage. I kind of forget that.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. Write that off.
Yeah, write that off. So I was activated.
Just
and
kidding, Margarita. She watches.
And it was funny. My first wife was also in the Navy. She was an officer,
Oh wow.
so they had to separate
Oh,
us.
oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
so she got to stay stateside. I went over.
You weren't an officer, right?
No,
Oh man.
I work for a living.
Yeah. Yep.
I work for a living. Yeah. So I didn't say, oh shit. I mean, I knew what I signed up
Right.
for. And that's the call to duty. Somebody's got to do it. So I was happy to.
Yeah.
do
Well,
it.
thank you for your service.
Thank
man.
you.
A lot of
Thank you.
people, I didn't serve, so I can't
Well, you have.
attest to that.
You have served.
No. Completely different. Just a job. But anyway, so from the Gulf War, where do you go next?
I come home and they send me to New London, Connecticut, submarine base. So in between my reserve time, where I couldn't find work in the civilian sector,
Uh-huh.
I would take on temporary duty assignments.
Right.
And I got New London, Connecticut, the submarine base, working at the hospital,
Okay. So you're
And-
following your family tree.
following the
Little
family.
bit.
Yeah. And they said, we're going to give you a break. You've been with the Marines. And they said, we're going to have you work from 7 to 3. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And they said, we're putting you in the pediatric clinic. And I said, send me back to the Marines. So I worked in pediatric clinic. Yeah, and that was fun.
Did you go on any subs at all?
I got to visit,
Okay.
but you have to have the clearance. You can't
Right. There's
let
no
everybody-
pediatrics on subs.
Yeah, no. When someone was injured on a sub on base, we had a special detail
Gotcha.
yeah, because it's all nuclear, top secret stuff.
Right. All right. So how do you segue into the cigar business?
Ooh, well, during the time in the service, I had a gunny sergeant that started me on cigars. I didn't know what I was doing. I was choking and everything. And then I started reading. I started reading this book called The Tobacconist, and several other books that I just wanted to know more about it. Started reading, started keeping my little diaries and stuff like that. And then I got with a company called Cubanacan. And I met them through some friends.
What year is this?
This is, I would say Cubanacan's recent. It's about almost been 6 years now.
Okay.
6 years with them.
So your venture into the cigar world came later in life.
Came later in life.
Okay.
Yeah, it was always enjoying them, getting to know about them. But then as I felt I was ready to get into the business,
Right.
is when I started with Cubanacan.
Right, because it's a rabbit hole you can go down. There's a lot in the cigar world.
Yeah, and
Than
folks,
just lighting up and smoking.
yeah, it's not as easy. Folks come to me now and want their own cigar, and when I tell them what's involved, they're like, forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it. So I wanted to be prepared to talk to people and really put the business forward. So about 6 years ago, I got with Cubanacan, and he taught me, and he said, okay, let me give you the New Jersey territory, PA territory, and start selling. So I was knocking on lounges.
So you became a cigar
A
salesman.
cigar salesman, doing cutting lights, events across New Jersey and PA, Philadelphia, and it took off. And he started to die off a little bit, his business.
Right.
So at that time, I was ready to say, listen, I'm holding all these events. I know the cigars. I'm meeting every rep from every Rocky. I'm meeting all the Gurkha.
Right.
I'm meeting these reps. And I said, you know what? I want to get into boutique blends. So these are blends coming up, brand new blends.
So what's a boutique blend?
A boutique blend is someone that, let's take yourself. You decided you wanted to have your own cigar, and you go down to the factories in Nicaragua, Dominican, Honduras. Right. You study the art, and you work out a contract to have your own cigar made. And what they will do, they will either roll your cigar based on the blends you want,
right.
or you can get a white label, which means something they have on the shelf,
right.
and you put your band on. So I got introduced to my number one now is Casa Carabello. I got introduced to Nomo cigars, Passione. They're all unique in what they do. And as I started to meet with them and start to talk with them, they said, hey, would you represent us? Would you get us into the markets that you know?
And where were they at that time?
So at that time, Casa Carabello, originally Mario, he's from Cuba, and his factory's in Nicaragua. He has his complete factory. Passione is unique. He is from China. He went to Temple. He lived in New York, and he's a professional opera singer right now. And he's in Italy and Belgium touring. And he said, here's my blend.
He's Chinese?
He's Chinese. It's made in the Dominican Republic. And he's coming out with 7 new blends. He just talked to me before walking on here.
That's great.
And he'll be back in October to launch his 7 new blends. So I started representing him. He has an accessory line of humidors. We do him.
What's his last name?
Yu Chen. Chen. Yeah.
And his cigar's called Passione?
Passione. He speaks like 4 different languages. Because in opera, you got to sing Italian and, So he speaks it all.
That's interesting.
You got to have him on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Have him on here.
You'd be made. Maybe he'll sing something for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, we have a restaurant in Philly called the Victor Cafe, and the wait staff for all professionally trained opera singers. It's great, isn't it?
I've been there. It's great.
You ever been there?
Oh, my goodness.
Dude, you would love it. The 3rd floor is a 1920s Art Deco cocktail lounge.
Yes.
Yeah. It was actually used in the Rocky movie Balboa.
That's right.
As the Adrian's.
They got the pictures up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
You're sitting there and then
Bad Cop tab, right?
Yeah, right.
Run your tab.
Need a sponsor. Come on, Victor Cafe. Hop on.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You're sitting there eating, and then all of a sudden somebody belts out. No.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I love that place. I recommend that a lot. I've sent probably a couple hundred people there over the last couple of years.
Yeah. It's a nice place. Yeah.
All right, so you're representing
those boutique blends. Yes.
Okay.
So I've been helping them for about 3-4 years now, getting them to take off. And like I said, Casas, he's doing fantastic. He'll be at this event coming in September 27, which I'll tell you about.
That's on the New Jersey.
That's on the this is our 5th year, by the way. It's called Cigars on the River at the Battleship, New Jersey.
I think this will air before that. So where can people get tickets, and tell us about the event real quick?
I'll tell you about the event. So it all started, I was a board member on the Battleship, New Jersey, one of the youngest, and I recommended this event. We get the entire battleship in the pier. We bring out close to 400 plus people. It's September 27th from 3 to 10 p.m. And for $120, we're giving you 6 premium cigars, a lighter, a cutter, a drink ticket, and food by Mission Barbecue.
Nice. I love Mission Barbecue.
Mission is great.
I think it's the best barbecue around.
Mission is great.
With you. And I'm not biased because it's big in the police and fire. I love Mission.
Mission is great. And
you should go. You should go to them.
Yeah,
please. Love to have you. Yeah, you can get tickets on the Battleship New Jersey page, the event calendar. I left you some flyers too if you want to post it up.
Yeah, we'll definitely post it. Have information in the show notes, and we'll post something in post-production.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm going.
You got to go.
Yeah.
We're having the giveaways is Gurkha, 1502, AJ Fernandez. Another one I'm representing, I didn't talk about them, Rebellion Cigars. The owner are from England, UK. The cigars are made in the Dominican Republic. We have Casa Carabello, and we have Harriman Solomon. Harriman Solomon, the owner are Masons. I don't know if you ever tried there, but there'll be the 6th giveaway. Then we have other vendors that are selling boutique blends. We have beautiful raffles coming, and our number one sponsor is Bovita.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you put this event together yourself?
I did. The first 2 years was all me and the Battleship staff. And then when I stepped off the board, they said, can you keep it going? Hence, the club.
Nice.
Me and my 2 brothers, Louis and Gio, we started Los Hefes Social Cigar Club, and we took it over from there.
So is this when is Five Barrels born?
So Five Barrels was born in January of this year.
No kids.
People were pressuring me.
Brand new, huh?
Brand new. People were pressuring me and saying, hey, you're representing us. You need to start something. So I did.
So what does a cigar broker do?
So I do a few things. Number one, I do events for people. I have people that will call me and say, hey, I'm holding an event like Jason. I need a roller. I need cigars for this event. So I'll work with my manufacturers to get those type of cigars and that roller in.
Okay.
I represent brands. And then I have folks that say, I want my own cigar. So I can take them from A to Z or get them to A to N based on their budget. And we have a few people that are looking at that type of
obviously
opportunity.
You love doing it. I can see the passion.
Oh, I love it. I want my own. I'm trying this year to get my own out.
Your own cigar.
My own cigar.
Yeah.
And how about the help that you offer lounges too?
Yes. So he was talking about Sticks earlier. Jason called me up and said, hey, these guys have got a new lounge, and let's go check them out. So I went up to Sticks, and I brought another team member, and we just consulted with them.
Yeah.
And gave them ideas on how to get this rolling and what type of events they should have, what type of cigars they should have on the shelves. And then I'll introduce them to various different reps, Rocky, Gurkha, tell them to come in, and we do shows up there and just try to build their marketing portfolio and try to help them. So love doing that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It looks like you're enjoying life right now.
I'm trying. Yes. Keep my faith strong, my wife happy. I'm enjoying life.
So before the cigar industry, what were you doing? Were you happy at that point in life, or
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you my real job, which I'm working now.
You're still working it.
I'm still working.
Okay.
Yeah. I work at the headquarters for Comcast.
What do you do for Comcast?
I run a team of engineers, testing engineers.
Okay.
So they're down there.
When the hell do you have time to do all this other stuff?
I just try to make it. The cigar stuff, everyone knows, talk to me after 5.
Right.
My focus is my work. My focus is the Comcast thing. So I'll get a lot of texts, but I won't answer.
All right, so when did you start working for Comcast?
I've been at Comcast 11 years.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So when I did come out the Navy and go back home to New York, I did work the emergency rooms.
Okay.
But it didn't last.
That's what I was going to ask you. You
It didn't last.
Training.
Yeah, it didn't last. I had just been burnt out. And I went to software school in Plano, Texas. Somebody gave me an opportunity. Opportunity opened. I went to software school, learned about telecom, and then the whole thing changed.
That's a very interesting arc.
It is. And I tell people, you can do it. You know, see, people say, well, all I did all my life was, maintenance, or I was an engineer. So, well, you can change. You just got to have the drive and the opportunity. And
How old were you when you made that change?
I must have been in my 30s.
Okay.
Change that chapter. That's all. Just
Yeah,
change
I
the
mean,
chapter.
it's tough. It's hard to do. And
It is.
People are afraid to take that step.
Yeah.
Even me with the podcast, this is something that a lot of people wouldn't even do, to think about. But there's a lot of people like that. The man in the arena. I love that. A lot of people aren't bold enough to take their own step, but they have no problem telling you how to take your steps.
How to take the step.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of that.
Yeah.
I get a lot of that. And I don't know if it's jealousy or.
Both of you guys, as you can see in your lives, have taken some pretty bold steps. Looks like it's paid off.
Yeah.
It paid off. Maybe it keeps you alive, by you keep on pivoting. We're in an ever-changing landscape from, obviously, since 2018, let's just say, to now. Just with my whiskey company, there's so many different facets. Hopefully within 2 months, I'll have 4 locations that have bars, but we're also doing mobile events. We're also renting mobile vehicles out. I'm getting more mobile vehicles out, but you have to keep on changing as a whole here.
Right.
Like, you got to keep on evolving, changing, and seeing what the, the universe and the atmosphere holds for you and what you have to do to adapt. Right now, alcohol sales are down big time.
Yeah.
But it's not affecting me because I'm not those huge, big corporations that do huge numbers that are seeing the big drop-offs like craft breweries or, big time companies. But you just got to keep on moving, grooving, adapting, and being flexible and changing with the times and seeing where the opportunities are, like we're all doing here.
Yeah.
Yeah.